I have been always looking for better software and how we can empower clients. And so I was in a conference and I found a software that will help reduce that. So we can reduce that fee because we don't need to use QuickBooks anymore. So their software actually keep tracks of the like your book, connected to your bank account, and then the independent contractor, you have your own book already, made automatically. So we don't have to do a bookkeeping. So we can reduce the fee, okay? And then also they have some other functions that will help you. And then if you are a business, you pay independent contractors, they have a solution that can help you manage, So that's where you save payroll tax plus in compliance. So with that said, I want to here invite Ryan to say something about their software to empower you. Okay, Ryan, go ahead and share screen and.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for taking the time to join us tonight. Also, thank you, Jin Young, for inviting me to step in and present with everyone today. As he mentioned, I work for a company called Wingspan. We work with teams that manage large pools of like contingent workers or 1099 contractors, and help your team to manage the relationship payments, and then like also attract and retain top contractors. So I'm gonna share my my screen real quick. Have a few slides and then want to just jump into a quick demo of the platform itself. Jin Young, can you see my my screen? Should just be the big Wingspan logo.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So again, as I mentioned, Wingspan is designed to help you bill clients, onboard and pay workers, and stay compliant. So where we sit is between you and your flexible workforce, right? So you have your business with the clients above, and then your W-2 employees, possibly yourself, possibly employees that you have working for you within the business, and then you have all of the vendors, contractors, everybody else that you're working with, and we help you manage both the AR and AP functions, as well as like tax and compliance, and just ensuring compliance on all fronts, actually. So what that system looks like in practice is like a single dashboard. We call it the Wingspan Flexible Work Cloud. Manages the entire life cycle of the relationship with any external contractors, vendors. So as I mentioned before, onboarding, TIN verification. So we're directly connected with the IRS's TIN matching service, tax compliance, contractor verification, payments themselves, and then contractor benefits billing and payable automation as well. Working with a lot of companies to help manage the entire life cycle, reducing the onboarding kind of like administrative burden, reducing like any risk with like classification, and also just simplifying the payment process. Sorry, was that a question, or I think I just missed? Nope. Okay. I think it might have just been a cough. Anyways, so jumping into the Wingspan platform, so want to walk through three different things. Want to walk through, how do you connect with your contractors, and then how do you pay your contractors, and then I'm going to jump into the contractor experience itself, so you can see how they are able to interact with the platform. And Jin Young mentioned how we can help on the contractor level, replace some financial tooling, and also just provide access to benefits that, as a 1099 contractor is not a W-2 employee, they're kind of on their own to figure out for themselves. Income and expense tracking tools and like financial tooling, but then also health, dental, vision insurance, things like that, providing access to more competitive plans than what you would see just by going to healthcare.gov or anything through the ACA. So first things first is just onboarding contractors. So you're able to manage your entire contractor network from the dashboard here, and you can onboard a new contractor as simply as adding their email. Then they'll receive an invite from Wingspan saying that hey, this client is now paying through Wingspan, please go fill out your W-9 form, bank account information, everything all in one place. It really simplifies the onboarding process and also empowers the people that you're working with, contractors or vendors, to manage the onboarding entirely themselves. Takes a lot of that compliance risk off of your plate, where there's a lot of back and forth of, hey, I'm just trying to get paid, and you're like, well, I don't have your W-9 yet. I don't have all this information. Like I can't pay you because you might just disappear, right? So this puts everything in their seat, and they're the ones in like that have the complete onus. So when they receive that invite from us, they'll get an invite in their email, and they'll be able to go set up their own profile. That's as simple as, obviously it's just a demo environment, so putting in some fake info just to walk through the process here. But what I really want to show you is what the contractor is able to see as far as like what setting their account looks like. Well, we're able to connect directly to their external bank account. So like they would receive that invite from you, and then they would connect directly they can use the Wingspan wallet, and we'll get into the financial benefits in just a moment here, but can also just connect directly to their, Chase, TD Ameritrade, whatever bank account that they're typically using. Jumping back to like the main platform they were in before, the second thing I want to show you is the payables, how you pay contractors through Wingspan. There's 3 different ways to pay contractors or vendors through Wingspan. The first one is just to go ahead and create a payable one-off, right? You can create that directly within the system, select the contractor that you want to pay, fill out the invoice information, and generate a payable. Now, what's important here is that when defining the relationship between a contractor versus a W-2 employee, having that paper trail demonstrating like this is what each line item is being paid out for. This is what each penny essentially is it's tied to specific work being done, rather than the generic W-2 relationship, which can like create some like compliance and classification issues, right? We want to be sure to support y'all to ensure compliance, so that when we are going through tax season, there aren't any questions because we have the paper trail. So I've generated a few invoices just to show you what that looks like. You can really boil down the the detail as much as you'd like, right? So here I have specific claim IDs. In this example, I have like different projects that are being paid out at different rates. This one is hourly. This one is just a lump sum. This one is based on units. All of this information can be generated directly in the invoice. But also, it doesn't have to be done manually. If you're tracking the work that's being done in a CMS or a CRM, or possibly just your ERP, wherever you're tracking the work that's being done, we can create a connection between Wingspan and that system to automatically generate invoices and generate the payables. Alternatively, we can just do a CSV upload if you want to do a drag and drop. We're going to automatically generate the invoice. So you'll come in, you'll see this, and you'll go through the final approval process, generate the payable based on the time, the payment schedule. Finally, what I want to show you is those financial benefits that we were discussing before. And so I know that this is a big piece for Jinyong, and just how this can be a benefit to your contractors, to your vendors, so that, if they are other small businesses, they might not have something as complex as, or have the needs for something as complex as a QuickBooks instance, right? Small businesses, a lot of times, if they're doing this type of services work, really just need to track income and expenses. And so what Wingspan will provide to your contractors is essentially like a fully fledged business bank account, right? And so we have a virtual and physical debit card, as well as income and expense tracking, and then tax withholding tracking as well, where you can make deposits or payments to the IRS on your quarterly or annual schedule directly out of the system. All the documentation is going to be generated for you directly within Wingspan. Jumping into the income and expense tracking. So like first things first, we need like the 10,000-foot view, which I'm calling the profit and loss statement, right? So you can see everything at a at the bird's eye view, we'll call it. where you can just see your P&L for the year. Then you can also track individual transactions that have been paid. Now, I just uploaded some transactions that are out of my Amex business account for you can see like an electric bill. Ski pass might not, maybe that one shouldn't be in there. But the point being, you're able to connect this directly to your bank account so that it's tracking so that you have an automatically ingested into your Wingspan dashboard so that you can go through and select, this is a business account, business expense. Ski pass looks like I put that on the wrong card. That's not a business expense. This one's a business expense. This would be a business expense, right? So you can go through, select all these items, and that'll help you generate your profit and loss statement for the end of the year, help you process taxes, much quicker, not having to go through everything, manually. Last year I was doing it in, physical receipts. Nobody wants to do that. I mentioned also that we can have the tax withholdings. You could calculate your own rate, or if you just have a rate that you specifically want to put in, we'll allow you to kind of like override the standard calculation. But the idea here being that this can be your like financial dashboard. You have the business banking account, you have the income and expense tracking, you have the physical and virtual debit card, and then you also have the tax withholdings and tax tracking. On top of that,
so pay estimated tax from here.
Exactly, yeah. So see here, we can update the tax profile. And so this is just what I put in for, again, a demo account based on a few random, selections. But when you first sign in here, it's going to ask you like, what's your filing status? What's the estimated annual income? What's the state of residence? And it'll help generate a.
Okay, so as the employer, because I know California now require employers to withhold the tax for independent contractors. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be something that you would actually factor in during your onboarding, during setup. For the contractors that are based in California, you'd be able to set that up as part of the invoice so that you withhold the taxes on the invoice. And then
you
you
can
would
withhold the tax here, right? And you can also pay the IRS and the franchise tax board from here.
Correct. Yeah. So we have a direct connection so that you can pay directly, directly out of Wingspan. But the tax withholding that the employer's withholding would be separate, right? Like this is a tool for your contractors to help them so that you can, help them manage their business. And what we're seeing is that it's a massive like retention and like recruiting play where we're seeing, especially in
Now you should be able, if you withheld their tax,
correct?
You should be able to send the money to IRS.
That's correct. Yes.
You have that. You can help connect to their account, the EFT, and the transfer with ACH.
Yeah. So right here, so I'd be able to send the tax payment directly to the IRS. It'll walk you through the process. It'll walk you through the forms. It'll generate the form for you so that you have, your receipt essentially, where you'll have the everything you need for your end of year to demonstrate, hey, like this has already been paid. Here's my current rate. Here's where I stand.
So thank you.